everyone, and welcome once again to the Rancher and Stilettos presents Cocktails and Conversations. I'm Shae Williams Cromer, and I have a beautiful guest with me today. This is Shae Williams. Hello, my friend. Hi, Shae. How are you?
Hello,
Oh,
hello, my beautiful friend. How are you?
it is so good to see you. And
You too.
we have known each other for years now, of course, and I've always just appreciated your life and what you have going right now. You're what director of HUD, or the
Mhm.
Housing and Urban Development Department for the state of Mississippi, and
Yes,
you have like four real kids, man.
real kids, like
They
they're
call
real.
me Aunt Marcia.
Yes, yes, they love our Marsha. They
How's
love
everybody
her.
doing?
They're doing really good. As you know, Jiren is at Mississippi State. I just dropped Genesis off at Howard
Right,
University,
right.
and Janaya is senior, so she will be graduating
Crazy,
in May.
crazy.
And the baby is finally in high school. He's a
Girl.
sophomore.
When I met you, you still had car seat babies.
Oh,
They were so little.
yes,
And now I
yes,
got you reading all kinds of erotica and and
yes.
sexy books. So
Mhm.
let's talk about the Rancher in Stilettos. I know when I first told you I was writing the story, you were super supportive and just like, well, of course you are. Yeah, that
Yes,
makes perfect sense to me. But after
yes.
reading the books, tell me how you like them.
Uh, I totally love them. Of course, you know, I was totally upset after that first one.
Yep, yep. And you voiced
Because
your
I was,
opinion.
yeah, I was like, no, she didn't leave me here. No, she did. I'm like flipping and flipping and flipping the pages. And I get to the end and I'm like, no, Marsha, what's wrong with you?
I
And then I
know.
text you like this really mean face. I'm like, no, ma'am, you did not do this to us.
Yeah,
Um,
left it on a cliffhanger.
yes, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, literally hanging on a twig.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, like a twig. And we're sweating bullets waiting on number two. Love number two. Love how that unfolded at the end. And of course, I'm like, I better not get to the end. And she does the same thing again. I mean, you left us on a little cliffhanger. You're like
Yeah.
the end, and or is it? But I love how Corey and Zayd has just blossomed. Now you know Lane's my guy.
Okay, okay, that's interesting because there are some true Lane haters out there. But talk to me, why do you like Lane?
Because Lane to me is just the epitome of the black man.
Hmm.
He just he knows what to say. He knows what to do. You love him and hate him all at the same
Yeah, pretty
time.
much. Yeah,
So I just, he just to me is that ultimate, just kind of conflict that you need in order to try to make decisions. And, because we can have the conflicts, and I've had a couple of conflicts in my life, and I'm going, if it was a Lane conflict, I probably wouldn't feel so bad.
right, 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 right.
But he's just as smart, just as talented, but fine
Yeah,
and sexy
yeah.
and gonna get you in trouble if so I love the essence of him. I'm definitely love black men, so that's just my thing. But
I
I
and
love the
I knew
essence of
you.
him.
I knew you actually met the real Lane character,
Yes,
when he came to
yes,
visit me when I lived near you. And
yes.
I remember getting the phone call after you met him, and you were like, oh no, no, you did not show up with this fine man. Oh my goodness. Yes, yes.
I'm sure. Look, I think you got quite a few phone calls and stares and like, girl, who is
Okay.
that?
Yeah.
Yes,
He is still that dude. Absolutely.
yes. And
Yeah.
it's really great to identify with a lot of your life through the books.
Yeah.
We anyone who's close to you know about the dreamers,
Yep.
know what they mean to you. And it was just it felt like a real story unfolding. It felt more like a biography.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
you know, I guess this would be considered fiction.
Yep.
But it felt more nonfiction, more like a biography, more like this girl is telling her life on here on these in the public.
And you got to admit, it's a good story.
It is a
It's a
great
good
story.
story.
It is
Absolutely.
a great story. I cannot wait for the movie. I
Oh, I know.
cannot wait.
I know.
I
From
can't.
your lips to God's ears, that's something that we're definitely working on and continuing to
Yes.
work on.
Yes.
Talk to me about Zaid. Knowing that Zaid is loosely based on your real life friend, Moi, how do you like Zaid? And what do you
I
feel?
love her. I love Zayd. I sometimes I'm like, girl, make a decision.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, she's floundering in terms of picking, which guy to pick, I guess I should say.
Yes, and they both have wonderful qualities.
Yeah.
And then with the friends, when I first the first book, I started thinking about those shirts that you get when you're getting married, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
this is my this friend,
Right.
this is my drunk friend, this is
Right.
my
Right.
drama friend. You had all the friends. You
Yep.
had all of them. And, at first it was like, okay, Marshall, what's happening here? Who are these women? But they all had that special part that they played in your life. And I can identify with that. You play a special part in my life, and just a few other folks. And, I'm in the process right now of teaching my girls and mentoring them and letting them know, if you can find that one friend,
Right.
it
Right.
doesn't have to be a bunch of you guys. It doesn't have to be
Right.
10, but
Right.
that one friend that you can call. And those friends were that friend for you at different times. You needed that different friend at different times
Right.
in your life. And so that's kind of what I identified with. It was never, sometimes you read a book and you're like, okay, get on with it, get on. Never. And I'm not saying that just because you're my friend.
Right. I appreciate that. Yeah, I know.
But you're
I
like
know.
that,
And I
Marcia.
know you would be honest with me anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're like that. You're like that every single time we've ever, even if it was just we sat on a Sunday and caught up on our favorite shows and ate pizza and drank wine. It still was just that rich
Good
with,
conversation. Right.
yes, good conversation, camaraderie. And I did not tell you this, but I have to let everybody know Marsha is the ultimate friend.
Oh.
And when I came to you several times going, I don't know what's happening, tell me what's going on. And you looked at me and you said, when you start to outgrow a person,
Oh.
they
I
know before you
remember
do.
that conversation.
And I was like, is that what's happening? And you go through,
And repeat that because I stepped on your line there. What do you if you so everybody can hear?
right. Your famous line to me was, when you start to outgrow a person, they know before you do.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
when they start acting weird, they see something in you you may not see in yourself yet. And I
Right.
was just floored, but I never forgot
Oh
that.
my God. Oh my
I
God.
never, and I'm going to tell you something else you said to me that I remember a couple of years ago. And I was complaining, it was another area in my life. And you said, these folks have been the same since you've known them. You're the only person who's changed.
Right.
And everybody's wondering, why is Shae not letting us use her like that anymore? Why is Shae not letting us? And you just come with the most profound,
Oh,
advice. And it's so real. It touches you. And I literally can pick up from that and and keep moving just from that. I could talk to you like 10 minutes, literally just get a 10-minute deal and I'm good to go.
well,
And yeah,
I think the dreamers as friends in Zaid's life serve that purpose as well. I think she
yes,
kind of does that for them as well. But because they've grown up together and known each other, they're basically the same age. So the
yes,
level of maturity, I'm older than you, so it gave me an opportunity to kind of not only be a business colleague, but a mentor as well and a
Yes.
friend. So,
Yes.
there I had a broader range in terms of sharing with you and teaching you, which
Right.
is my honor, obviously, because I've always seen you as such a bright, intelligent person. Um, and to be able to kind of mentor you, that's a blessing for me, right? Really, with the dreamers, in real life and in the book, we're like on kind of the same level in terms of age and intellect. So I think, while they look up to Zayd, Zayd still counts, trust them to check her as well. You
Yes.
know, the knowledge that they have of each other, and though this is a romance novel, these girls are supporting each other through whatever life they're going through. And you know how it is, you're going through a relationship, you need to bounce some stuff off, you need to know, and the girls are really honest with her, and
Right.
she counts on that. She needs that. And I love that even in real life, when I'm able to be honest with you, from a mentor standpoint, the way you receive it, the way you receive it is not, I can't believe she's, like checking me. It's
Mm-mm.
more like, you know what? Nobody really ever said the truth. And that's what you're really looking for. If you
Yes.
want to grow, you're really looking for the truth. Am I right?
Yes. You're looking for the truth. And that's, I mean, all throughout your book, I felt like it, again, I'm gonna say, even though it may feel it's supposed to be fiction, I felt like you were telling the story, and not just telling your story, telling the story of so many women who may have experienced Elaine or Corey or the Dreamers, oh my God, or that fine rancher, Jesus. Um,
You're talking about Nash. Okay.
yes, I'm like,
Yes.
come on and get it on already. Because
Okay. Okay. And
because
I'm
you
kind
know,
of drawing it out a little bit, just
I'm like, why?
giving you the story. Right. 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 A slow
Right.
burn, as they say.
And then your boy shows up, and I'm going, she would do this.
Yeah.
Let's let this go on. He should have showed up later, and then everybody's acting nervous. But no, you
Now,
didn't give us
what
that.
what what area are you talking about? Is this the original Corey comes on the
Yes,
scene
yes,
and Lane is in the background, but he comes back to the forefront and the big cheating happens. Got it, got it, got it, got it.
you know what I'm talking about. You know
Yes,
exactly
yes.
what I'm talking about. Oh my goodness. And you could, I don't know who or where got your writing style, but I tell you, I could almost feel everything. I literally, Lord Jesus, had to had to get up. Let me go in here and take me
Look,
a
look,
cold shower.
we'll have to take a toast on that one, okay? Cheers,
Yes,
cheers,
indeed.
yes, yes.
Cheers. Yeah, look, you did that, my friend. You did.
Well, and you'll remember you invited me to Mississippi, right, to talk about the first two books. And I have to tell you, blew my mind how you guys treated me like the author that I am. And my
Yes.
expectations were, I'm just used to handling it, doing what I got to do, making my moves, whatever. I show up. You've got my hotel, you've got my charcuterie board and with cheese and wine, and oh my God.
Yes.
I just
We
felt like
I
such a
know what you like.
and then to be able to go out to the farm. What's the name of the farm again?
Footprint Farms.
Okay, Footprint. The
Oh, you
people
got to
could
come back.
not have been lovelier to me. They were um eager, and I could tell they were eager and excited to have me there. But the food was off the chain. Oh
Yes.
my God. And I love the whole concept. What better place for someone who grew up on a ranch and a farm, for you to
Yes.
take me to Footprint Farms and allow me to have this, beautiful setting. It was absolutely gorgeous, that tent. And then the food and the company and the people who were there. You know how it is when you meet people and they've read your book on some level, they act like they feel like they know you.
Yes.
My book is kind of lends to that because, as you know, I drew a lot from my own experiences, and
Yes.
I love the fact that you found a venue that totally encapsulated, Black people who grew up in a rural environment and love that environment, love small town life, learn how to drive on a tractor, for crying out loud.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Yeah. And Mississippi was a good time. I was at United Healthcare, and because of the program that we were running, it was it lent itself to some of my natural talents, which I think is what made me, not only survive but really thrive in that
Mhm.
arena, because we had nothing out there that was comparable to the competitor, and we had to come up with programs that would really serve the community, and it was a blessing to me all around.
So let's talk a little bit about that. Look, I know I'm not running this show, but
Yes, you
I
are.
tell
This is
people,
equal. This is a democracy.
I tell people all the time, you guys are better, you better give Marsha Williams Cromer from United Healthcare the props she deserved,
Oh,
because there would not be a farm to fork, a farm to table, or farm to nothing
yep.
if it was not for you.
Yeah.
And I remember you all made me the United Healthcare first rock star.
Yes. Yeah.
I I I took that certificate and it hung in my office for years, for years, and
But
I
you
do
know
mean
what?
years.
That was a labor of love. It
Yes,
was one of those things where every single day you got a chance to see that you were making a difference in the lives of people who were less fortunate and really needed it. You could see the improvement literally day by day.
yes,
And yeah, blessing for me, totally a blessing.
yes, yes, yes. So I, all of those are fond memories, and just to see where you are now, you're doing exactly what you want. You're
Yeah.
living your dream, and you deserve it so very much, my
So
dear
let's
friend.
talk about the books and Paris, since Paris is the
Yes,
dream, right?
yes.
How did you feel about Paris being actually a character in the book? It
I,
makes sense or no?
it did. It made sense. It made sense. Me knowing how Paris, what Paris means to you.
Yeah,
So that that was expected for me. And I'm saying to myself, Marsha she's got to just never get any sleep. You can't, because the things you came up with. I mean, who would have come up with that? Seriously.
right,
And so, you know, I had to go back and like reread, and even how some people fall asleep.
right.
I may fall asleep, and it because I would wake up reading your book and go to bed reading your book. And I may fall asleep and I will wake up and go, no, I don't remember
Right.
that. I got to go all the way back because I don't want to miss a thing. And I'm telling you that when the store was destroyed, now that I didn't expect that.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I thought that was going to destroy the dreamers. I really did.
Well, and you know what? Honestly, again, because there are some parallels in real life
Mhm.
and
Yes.
the story, something similar actually did happen to us.
Mm,
And
mm.
yeah, it wasn't in Paris, it was in the States. But when you are invested in a business, when you're invested in the partnership, and at that point they were just starting a stepping stone of expanding their business, and it was
Yes.
completely outside their control. And that was one of those places that, I think in all different areas, there are places where characters shine. In that
Yes.
area, I do feel that Corey shined. I
Yes.
think, because I can only imagine, you've gone out on this limb and you are just like, okay, what a setback. And he's
Yes.
that calming force that says, you got insurance. We'll handle this. All is
Yeah.
well. Let's just, keep moving. And she needed that at the time. She needed someone who had her back and
Yeah.
someone who she knew could make things better,
Yeah.
because he had the wherewithal financially to do that. But his goal was just to help her come down from a really, really hard and painful place. He's
Right.
not always that gracious. I
Mm-mm.
feel that with Corey, there are times where when he steps up to help, he has ulterior motives,
Motives.
and whether he realizes it or
Yes.
not,
There you go.
I don't think he walks around, being manipulative. I
No.
just think it is his perspective. This is what I want, and this is how I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you almost squash the people that are around you because you're just focused on your goal. And in his mind, he feels if it's good for me, I can make it better for everybody. But people want to make their own choices, and I think Zayd
Right.
is definitely, that girl who wants to feel that she has some say so in what happens in the big picture of her life. Definitely.
Right. Right. I think Corey just he reminds me of a you know a very successful businessman. He is
Yeah.
always thinking about business.
Right.
And like you said, I don't think he walks around with ill intentions. He is just always, you know, right here. He is,
Right.
it's, I'm going to do this, and this is the result. If I don't get that result, then I'm going to go back over here and this. So that person inside of him was really what Zayd needed. And I start to say it's really what you needed.
Okay, it happens all the time. Don't even worry about it. Yeah.
Right, right,
People project the character onto me. Yeah.
right. Because we all know that that's you.
You know what? Okay, that is the character Zayd.
That's the character Zayd, but I think that is your alter ego.
Yeah, yeah, I'll
It's
say
Zayd.
that.
But I just think he was definitely what she needed at the time. And I'm going, oh, and I'm sure everybody did that at that time.
I got
Like,
a question because we can keep it real.
yeah.
Sexy time, okay? So how did you feel about the sex scene? So I think there was one that I had a lot of fun writing, and that was the bathroom sex scene, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
That one was, I think, again, Corey and Zayd both were feeling each other, and I think that they were both hurt,
mm-hmm.
and but also two alphas that don't want to say, when
There you
first.
go. There you
Okay.
go.
Okay.
There you go.
So, but the way things kind of got set up, they end up kind of running into each other in a hallway during a meeting, and that got really crazy. And I love Charmaine's response when Zayd comes back to the boardroom, and she knows her friend so well. She was like, "Oh my God, you did not, you did not."
Like, I know you didn't.
And Zayd turns back into, Miss Professional. And
Yeah. That's
yeah,
what we do. Look, that's what we do.
that's it. That's it. That's it. I love it.
That's what we do. We come back in, girl, we freshen that lipstick up and where were we? Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What
But
about
but the alphas have to have fun too.
it's true. It's true. And I
Most
think
people don't think we do, but yeah, we do.
it takes a certain person to bring that out of you, though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you
Um,
cannot be an average bear and, and have us like outside of our comfort zone at any,
no.
I
An
mean,
average bear, a build a bear.
yes, yes. None of that. None of the bear.
No, you have to be on your you have to be a true alpha. And I've seen some, want to be alphas, or some pretending to be alphas or showcasing as alphas, but they're not.
Right.
And I can normally sniff them out, like, I can sniff them out really quickly. But I just think you have a talent for knowing when to stick in those moments
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
make us go, not just but okay, like,
Oh,
okay, girl. And, I mean, very descriptive. Um, like the car scene with her and Lane. I'm going, you almost see yourself like, did I tell her anything about that?
like I'm telling your business now, right?
Look, and I'm sure some of the dreamers are like,
Okay, no, and with them, oh no, no, they got advanced copies. There's no way I would not let them know what this book was about. So yeah, because
what did they say? I'm just curious as
they
to
were,
what.
well, I'll be honest, they were all, I think, pleased with the story. They know it's fiction for the most part. Most of the stuff, if you would look at it and say, did it really happen, it was associated with me, or the Zaid character.
Mhm, mhm.
But the
Right.
dreamers, I've had everything from, I think it was a great representation, to my friend just turned me into a hoe. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty funny. So it runs the gamut. But I will
Mhm.
also say one of the things that has been interesting is to get myself outside of me, knowing that some of it is my story,
Yes.
and being able to write what I think people want to read rather than filter it, because I'm feeling that, it's too personal, and
Right.
to go into, these are characters, just keep writing, keep writing, keep writing. And then I find out from my first grade teacher, not my high school teacher, my first grade teacher, yes. So my first grade teacher, my second grade teacher, and my high school Spanish teacher, I know they've read all three books.
Oh,
And my
wow.
first grade teacher she just loved them. And I thought, at the end of the day, we're all grown. How about that?
How about that? And
I
look,
love
you have that tiny bit of in the beginning going, oh my God, did she read that? And you're like, wait a minute, I'm
Oh,
grown
I was oh, I was somewhere between completely honored and totally mortified.
now.
Like, yeah.
So here's another thing I would like to know. So when I have so many different things in my head. Um, so how do you feel that dad would feel, with you talking about the ranch and all of that? How do you think mom and dad would feel about, the story and keeping the ranch alive, and all of that? What is your take on that?
That's a great question. I don't think anybody who knows me has ever asked me that.
I
So,
know how you felt about your parents.
oh my
I know.
God. Oh
Yeah.
my God. My hero and shero. And I still feel that way about them. And they are both deceased now.
Hmm.
Um, but first of all, I did not put the ranch in my real hometown,
Right.
and a lot of my background, like, in the story, I'm an only child.
Right.
Nash was raised with me, so he's kind of technically, my brother.
Right.
And in real life, I have a sister and a brother.
Right.
But so I put the setting somewhere else. So from that standpoint, it truly is fictional. And
Hmm.
yeah, but my parents have read my writings before, and always been supportive. And honestly, I think they'd be super proud. I think that
Yeah.
they would be super proud that I started on this journey what, 4 years ago now, and have basically written a book every.
every year.
Yeah, yeah. So that I know they would just anytime I tried something, they were my biggest supporters, and I love them for that. And they allowed me to the freedom to fail, try something, and if you fail at it, try again and just keep trying and never give up.
Right, right. I feel they would be just tickled pink at what you're doing and how you're doing what you're doing. I can't wait to read number four.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see the movie. I'm going to be front row
Oh my God.
screaming, "That's my friend! That's my friend!" Oh my goodness. It's such an honor to watch someone's dream just unfold in front of you. Because a lot of the times, most of our dreams go, just deferred, and then they never happen. Forget deferred, they just don't happen at all because of, sometimes life gets in the way. And
Yeah.
you have been the epitome for me of not letting life get in the way.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good because like everybody else, I've had those hard times and those
Yes.
really painful times and sad times. But I think just in general, I'm a pretty optimistic person,
Oh
which is
yeah.
why I try to make friends with people like yourself, who bring joy into my life and support, and optimism as well. I'm not always having to carry that on my own shoulders because I got a really good network of folks that lift me up, yourself included, Shae Williams.
Well,
Oh,
thank you, and you are very welcome. Um, I think about something else you said to me, and you said, Shay, by the time you turn 45-ish, she said, you just will not give a darn anymore. You won't care what people think.
I don't
You,
remember saying it, but it
yes,
sounds like
I
me.
can tell you exactly where we were sitting.
Okay.
We were upstairs in your loft area.
Uh-huh.
I love that area. My kids love that area. They thought that was
That
there.
was their house. That was their
Yeah,
house. Yeah.
upstairs. And look, the boys on this side and the girls on this side. And you were like, you just won't give a darn anymore.
Yeah.
You won't care what people think. You won't. And I'm telling you, every single thing you've ever told me, it panned out just like that.
But
And it's not like I dwelled
it's
on it.
the energy that you're
Yes,
extending. You don't
yes.
have that. You go for 30 something years. Now you're in your 40s and you're like, I don't have the energy for it.
I know.
So you
No,
make the choice just to let it go. You can't fight every single battle that comes at you.
no.
So you gotta pick your battles.
And sometimes they're not yours.
Yep, that's right.
That's something
That's
I
right.
had to learn.
And the boss.
Not my battles. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
So I
But
mean,
you know what? I want to just say cheers. I cannot believe how time has flown. I love me some Shae Williams. And thank you
I
so
love
much
you.
for being on the show. Cheers. And
Cheers
thank
to
you
you,
for
Marsha Williams Cromer.
thank you for always just being such a great friend and great supporter. And what you do for your community, my hat is off. Just keep doing it. Somebody with a heart is required to do that work. I love you, girl.
Yes, I love you too.
All right. Bye bye.